everyone, it's Marianne at Sew Right, and today I'm still using the Accolade, and I'm going to do ruffling. So this is a skirt that I hoped I was going to get to my granddaughter, but I think she outgrew it already. I just didn't add the elastic and the casing yet, but this whole thing was done on the serger. And what I did was, before I started the ruffling process, I took each layer and finished it with a rolled hem, which I'm going, I have a piece here that I'm going to be showing you how I finished it. And I did that first so that I didn't have to do a hemming on it. It has a nice finish, and you could use variegated threads, metallic threads, whatever you want. And do your rolled hem first on your strips. So after you have that done, this is just another scrap fabrics that I have. And this would be my base fabric. That would be much longer maybe. And I'm going to use, this is my ruffle that's going to be ruffled. And I did a rolled hem on this one, on one edge. The other edge is going to get attached to this fabric. So when I sew, I want to sew with right sides together. This is a ruffling foot. And just like I had mentioned on others, you're going to refer to your company's machine for instructions on how to set up the machine to do the technique. On here I have my instructions that came with my foot. And I'm going to do a 4-thread overlock. But there's going to be some things that are going to change from a normal overlock stitch. I'm putting my stitch length all the way up to number 4, the biggest stitch length. And I'm putting the differential feed all the way up to 2 to do the technique. But I'm going to start out with everything normal. And then as I go, I'm going to show you how the foot and these two things will change the way it ruffles. I'm going to attach my foot, and take notice here. There's a slot here. The fabric that is not ruffling is going to go through this slot. The fabric that's ruffling is going to go all the way under the whole foot. And this piece here is going to help to do the gathering. So I'm going to put this on here. And when you do this, get started. There is no ratio to how much your strip should be according to the fabric that you're going to work on. I would just cut a very, very long piece of your ruffle and attach it to the piece that you're going to go. And you'll see how it's going to all work out just nicely. But like I said, I'm going to sew right sides together. So this is the wrong side, and I know it because of the way the rolled hem looks. And I'm going to face this down. And I'm going to place this under the foot, because this is the one that's going to get ruffled. But like I had just mentioned a moment ago, I have all my settings at a normal length for a 4-thread overlock. And I'm going to start to stitch, just so you can see what happens with a ruffler. Everything looks kind of normal. So if you're looking back here, everything looks like a normal 4-thread overlock. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make those changes. I'm going to put my differential feed all the way up to 2, and I'm going to increase my stitch length all the way to 4. Now, if you decided that you only wanted to ruffle this piece, you would not put the other piece into the slot. So now it's going to start ruffling this piece without it being attached. So now as I'm going, take notice back here. Look at all these ruffles. This is so cool. After I'm done, if I was to go through the whole strip and pull it out, I can still readjust these gathers by pulling the left needle thread, and just like you would on a sewing machine. But what's cool is, because this has got an overlock on the edge, when I start pulling, the edge of the fabric won't get messy like it would if you're doing it on a sewing machine. Now I'm going to take my main fabric, and I'm going to slide it in. Remember, right sides together. I'm going to slide this in, and you might want to raise your foot and get your tweezers. Just like I always say, your tweezers are your best friend with the serger, and start scooting it under. And I'm going to get my main fabric as close to my needle as I can. I'm going to put foot back down, and it's going to start pulling it all in. Get in there. Wait. Let's do one more maneuver. Got in there. Okay, let's try that. There we go. You know what? It'll make it easier if I do put things back to normal. Things will feed in easier. And then once I get it onto the main fabric, I'll make the adjustments. Come on, get in there. There we go. Now it's attached to my main. So now I'm going to put my other settings back. Differential feed all the way up, my stitch length all the way up. Now on top you won't notice much. Everything's going to be looking like a 4-thread overlock, especially when you look in the rear. But underneath is the magic. So now I'm going to just lift this, and you're going to see, there goes the ruffles. They're starting to gather. So I'm going to continue. And also, I'm going to keep pushing this fabric over to this edge, and the one underneath I'm going to keep pulling to the left a little, just so that it catches all the layers together. So looks pretty much like a regular 4-thread, and yes, it is loopy on the edge. It's because it's gathering the bottom layer and I'm pulling fabrics over, but this is going to be normal. But underneath, let me just do a little bit more and then I'll run this off. And I'm just trimming a little bit of both fabrics, not much. All right, I'm going to run that out so we can see the results. There's my ruffle. How cool is this? There you go. So like on my skirt, I did all my rows and everything was flat. Then I just took my two sides, put them together, and I did a 4-thread overlock down the side, and then I turned it right side out and I had the skirt. So there we go. Ruffling. Hope you do it. See you soon. Bye.